Hi guys, and welcome to Prediction Week 21. New year, new look. The beard has gone, so I thought, we're going into a new year, so why not have a new start? New look, new start. We start with the 12:30 kickoff tomorrow, which is Brighton versus Chelsea. I thought Chelsea were poor in the first half against Chelsea, couldn't even get into their own half. But in the second half, they did improve. We did let them back into the game with a mistake from Lino. And then the second goal is just typical Arsenal, really. But Chelsea seem to be doing better on the road than they are at home, actually. So Brighton will make it hard for them, but I think that Chelsea will win this game because they seem to be better on the road than they are at home. So I'm going to go Brighton 1, Chelsea 2. Onto the 3 o'clock kickoffs, we start with Burnley versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa's just took a thumping 3-0 loss to Watford. I don't think Burnley are as strong as Watford at this moment in time. Watford's seem to have had some massive confidence at the moment. So I'm going to go for a tight draw in this one. I'm going to go Burnley 1, Aston Villa 1. We then have Newcastle versus Leicester. And obviously Newcastle also taken a batter into Manchester United. I didn't see a 4-1 result coming there. Leicester seems to have dipped in form a little bit. So again, I'm going to go for a tight draw in this one. I'm going to go Newcastle 1, Leicester 1. We then have Watford versus Wolves. As I said, Watford have gained some confidence at the moment. I think they've had like 3 wins on the bounce, something like that. They beat Manchester United, they beat Aston Villa. I'm sure they beat somebody else before that as well. So they're on a good bounce at the moment. Wolves tried against Liverpool, but just couldn't get that equaliser. And I'm going to go for a come to win for Watford, actually, funny enough. It is at home. They've got all the confidence in the world at the moment. So I'm going to go Watford 2, Wolves 0. We then have Southampton versus Tottenham. I'm going to go for a Southampton upset to Spurs here. I'm going to go Southampton 2, Tottenham 1. And then we've got 3 5:30 kickoffs. The first one is West Ham versus Bournemouth. Obviously, West Ham sacking Manuel Pellegrini, and they've now hired David Moyes. So obviously, we all know about first coaches, getting that good bit of fortune and lifting the whole stadium and the players and this and that. So I'm going to give the result to West Ham, and I think that David Moyes can scrape a 1-0 victory here. So I'm going to go West Ham 1, Bournemouth 0. We then have Manchester City versus Everton. Again, Manchester City is starting to get back to winning ways, but funny enough, I've got a feeling that Carlo Ancelotti can get a result for Everton here. He's very good at going up against big top sides, and he's normally gets pretty good results. So I'm going to go Manchester City 1, Everton 1. And then we have Norwich versus Crystal Palace, and this is going to be the game of the day, New Year's Day, that I've gone for this one. As I said, 2 topsy-turvy teams, so why not go all out and just give them this result? So I'm going to go Norwich 2, Crystal Palace 2. Do not let us down. We want one good, entertaining end-to-end game for the New Year's Day. Then we've got 2 8 o'clock kickoffs. We start with Arsenal versus Manchester United, and I've seen some massive improvements at Arsenal since Arteta's took over. If you want to count the Everton game, I thought we were in control in that one, to be fair. I thought we were complete control against Bournemouth, but just didn't take our chances. I thought we were in complete control, at least for the first half, against Chelsea. Again, didn't take our chances, took the one, but we could have had more. In the second half, we defended really, really, really well. But obviously, the one mistake from Lino got them back into the game. Yes, you could argue that Georgina shouldn't have been on the pitch. It is a second yellow card, but we've just got to get on with it. He stayed on the pitch, and obviously he's there to put the ball in the back of the net. And the second one is just Arsenal just being Arsenal. They went to sleep, completely went to sleep. Let their heads drop. So Arteta has got a massive task on his hands, and I hate to say it, even though Arsenal have looked impressive the last couple of games. Manchester United come into this game with all the confidence of the world, beating Burnley, smacking Newcastle. So I think we're going to get something similar, to be fair. I think Arsenal will start well, I think they'll score well, but then I think like the Chelsea game will ease off, and I think Manchester United will get themselves back into the game. So unfortunately for New Year's Day, new start for Arteta, it's going to be another loss. I've just got to say what I think. Arsenal 1, Manchester United 2. It kills me, but in one way, you couldn't have thought of a worse start for Arteta, could you really? You know, Chelsea and Manchester United. To be fair, we could have said that about Emery as well. You know, Manchester City and Chelsea. So it is what it is. That's football. And hopefully after this result, listen, we might not even lose. That's just what I've gone for. But after this result, you know, we can move on, have an FA Cup, you know, and hopefully we can have some, you know, easier fixtures, you know, and get our season going. Hopefully in the January transfer window as well, we can get some signings. I don't think we'll get a lot in January, and then it all comes down to if we can get Champions League football. Me personally, I don't think Arsenal are going to get into the top four. I think this is probably going to be the one season where we finish about 9th or 8th. You know, for me, the damage has already been done. You can't see Chelsea losing 11 points, not a chance in the world. Can Arsenal win the Europa League? It's possible. But I think we've got to write this season off, to be fair, and we've just got to start again next season now. And the other 8 o'clock game is Liverpool versus Sheffield United. Yeah, no problem, it's Liverpool here. Sheffield United are right at home, but Anfield, yeah, no chance. So Liverpool 3, Sheffield United 0. So that has been my predictions for this weekend, guys. Well, not even weekend, it's Tuesday. So I won't see you on Friday because it's FA Cup week. So I'll see you a week on Friday. So until then, hope everyone has a fantastic, happy new year. And don't get too drunk. Well, again, it is only once a year, so I suppose you could. And until then, I'll see you next year, basically. So thank you for everyone who's watched the predictions videos for the whole of this year. Not just at the start of this season, but for the whole of the year, you know, from last January. And hope we can get some more subscribers. And hopefully you can continue to carry on watching this show for the whole of this year. Thank you for watching, guys.